Does that just work? Nope, has to be an enemy attack dodge. Is that it? Oh, there's this. That's the dodge. It's kind of strange. Alright. I actually don't know if I can do this next part with the setup. Don't think I can. I'll try.
今彼らも御堂のせいでロストにまだ追いつけます。
I still have haze. Yeah, it's only 24,000, I guess.
Mido. まったく諦めの悪い。貴様の目的は何だ？クイーンを復活させて何を企んでいる？クイーンの復活？何がおかしい？十分にデータは得た。もうクイーンなどに用はない。ならどうして？考えたことはないか？なぜ自分たちが生み出されたのか？なぜレブナントが人ならざる力を手に入れることになったのか？
Well, originally they were to fight the horrors. That's what the Gen 1 Revenants were for, something. For. Gen 2 and 3 were to fight the Frenzied Queen.
化け物どもを駆逐するために生み出された。しかしその進化は未だ道半ば。
What, the Queen and the Revenants were incomplete?
グレゴリオが無様に変貌する姿をこの目で見てやりたかったが仕方がない。お前たちに見せてやろう。この世界の真実。
The truth of our world. Yes, those are buildings. Thorns of Judgment. Dude, you just killed your Lost. They all have relics. They all have Queen's relics, I guess. What is he gonna do with them? Okay. It's gonna open a door. And go to a place. What? What can't be? What cage? That is a lot of blood. Hey, look at Silva. What's this transformation you're talking about? He looks normal. Ah, okay. Yes, that's what they meant when they said the relics will seek out Silva or something like that. I still don't understand why, but they just do. It's transforming. What's with the album? Giant earthquake. I guess now that Silva is transformed, the red mist is gone because he was producing it. Or something like that. Doesn't make sense why it's just gone. Probably because he doesn't have control of his thoughts and powers or something. That guy's just like looking at the blood bead, and suddenly an earthquake happens. Red mist is gone. But is it a horrible prison? Because it's him. This is one of the so-called horrors in this game. And if you played God Eater before, you would recognize this enemy. He doesn't want to die. And for some reason, Red Mist came back and killed the horror. Maybe Silva regained some consciousness and managed to pull the Red Mist back or something. I don't know what happened there. Why the Red Mist just came back. Oh, I guess he explains that. This is the horrors that everyone keeps talking about, but we don't see one until now.
愚かなグレゴリオはそのことを理解できず、赤い霧という檻を作り、研究を凍結して殻に閉じこもってしまった。檻の中の脆弱な化け物を駆逐しただけで慢心し、進化の歩みを止めてしまうとは何たる愚行。その結果、化け物どもは悠々と進化を続け、やがてレブナントをも超越した脅威へと変貌を遂げたのだ。知る由もないだろう。赤い霧という檻がいつしか外の脅威からお前たちレブナントを守る防壁に変化していたことを、お前たちはグレゴリオに守られていたのだよ。全くの偽善。
True potential.
さあ、もうゆりかごは必要ないだろう。共に進化の階段を。
Beto just wants to harvest the horror's power for evolution.
さらに多くの命を犠牲にするつもりかよ。
そんなこと許されるはずがない。
Meanwhile, Silva is protecting everyone
進化の
with
速
the
度
red
につい
mist.
てこれない列島に生きている価値などない。
ざれ言を必ず止めてみせる。今を必死に生きている皆の努力を、継承者たちの覚悟を無駄にはしない。
So yeah, God Eater enemies are in this game. That is the horrors that everyone keeps mentioning. Oh my god, it hurts. I forgot he could do that. And that apparently. I forgot he can do everything. Okay, got poisoned. Ooh, that does no damage. Can I? Ah, I didn't dodge it. Oh, she's inhibited. Alright, now that I sort of had a chance to talk, I guess I'll go into some God Eater lore. So, that enemy... Well, the enemies in God Eater are called Aragami. And that is... that one giant enemy is also an Aragami. It is a... kind of... I forget. It's like important to the story. It like traumatized one of the characters. I forget if it was the main character or one of the supporting characters. It like traumatized their childhood because it killed their family or something. I can't exactly remember it, but it was something like that. That specific type of Aragami traumatized that character. And it became like that character's sort of revenge enemy. Damn it. So that enemy is called a Diaspita. It's a variation. Variation. I can't fucking speak. It's a different type of enemy. It's like an evolved version of a different enemy called a Vajra, I think. Which is like a lion type origami. Gladiator didn't have that many origami, at least to fight. There was like 8 types or something, and there was like evolved versions of them which weren't that much different. Didn't touch that, or that. Oh my god. So yeah. Because of that one enemy that's shown in this game, I am tempted to believe that this is set in Godier's world universe. Oh my god. And because this, like, entire Code Vein world is, like, isolated because of the red mist, they don't know what's happening on the outside, really. So Code Vein is like an isolated place. So they only know about the Revenants and humans. Like, there's the humans and probably like the first generation Revenants. Or is it third? Might be third generation Revenants. I forget. But the ones that wake up late. They know about the horrors. But I don't know. There's a lot that don't know about the horrors, it seems. Which is origami. I'm just gonna use them interchangeably. I forgot what I was gonna go with that. What I was talking about. Ah, fuck. Right, I was talking about them being in the same universe. So, fuck. They're set in I think they're set in the same universe. I've read that the developers said they're not. But it's clear that they're pretty much the same. They're the same enemy. And I can't fight and talk. It's too hard. It's very hard to keep my thoughts together while fighting. Yeah. Fuck. I just get distracted when I try to talk about something. And I can't concentrate. Even when I don't talk, I still mess up, so... Okay, where was I? So they're in the same universe, I think. Code Vein's like an isolated place. In God Eater, I didn't talk about this, but in God Eater, it's like set around the world, like modern world. I think in God Eater 1 it's set in Tokyo, but not Tokyo, in Japan. And then you have like the characters coming from other countries, from Russia and stuff. So it's like set around the world, and you have to do missions to just defeat Aragami. So the what God Eater is, it is a I forget what it is. It's either the person or the weapon. I think it's the person. So I can't talk again. Ugh. So how God Eaters came to exist was the Aragami attacked from... I can't exactly remember, it's been a long time since I played God Eater, but I think the Aragami came from cell mutations or something. There was some sort of experiment and it went wild, or I can't remember. The Aragami came from... they just appeared. And then I think they were kind of like mutated cells or something. And then, yeah, they caused a great panic in the world because they're devouring people and stuff. Basically being monsters. And then the, I think it was the government of some place, I don't know, made God Eaters by implanting cells of Aragami into people. And these cells were Aragami cells, but when they were implemented into people, people would go like... they would turn into Aragami or something. Because they couldn't handle the cells. Or something like that. I don't know. My memory's a bit fuzzy from... it's been a long time since I played. Oh, come on. And basically what God Eaters were the people who didn't actually get turned into Aragami. Oh, that was so close. And yeah, there was only some God Eaters, and they also put on a giant bracelet to stop or slow down the infection of the Aragami cells. And this allowed them to wield their weapons, which were also made of Aragami cells. And this allowed them to actually fight the Aragami, which is kind of weird. You're using, basically fighting fire with fire. That is basically God Eater. They used Aragami cells to fight the Aragami. But in Code Vein, they don't know anything about God Eaters or anything like that. I think Revenants were sort of like the first generation of God Eaters. Something like that. Or at least a type of measure to attempt to counteract the Aragami. But it didn't work so well because it wasn't powerful enough, I guess.
見せてやろう種の進化というものを
I feel like I'm forgetting some stuff that I should be mentioning.
遅いな。いや
Ugh. And she's inhibited. So yeah, I think like the outside world, I don't know if this Code Vein is like, the timeline for Code Vein is matched up with the timeline of God Eater's timeline. Maybe not. I think Code Vein probably would be like a prequel to God Eater, even. Because Code Vein's just like completely isolated, it's like just a small section of the world compared to God Eater, which occurs throughout the world. So this is... I shouldn't have this much trouble beating him. Guess I'm not really concentrating. Because I'm trying to explain lore that I think is happening. But it's been like, I don't know how many years. Like, probably 7 years since I played God Eater. And I've only played God Eater 1 and 2, so I don't know what happens in 3. Oh, that's bad. Oh yeah. So the drain mechanic in this game is very similar to the Devour mechanic in the God Eater's world. So the drain mechanic here is just you like use your boar parasites to do, well, I guess you use your blood veil. I don't understand the blood veil drain. It just sort of works, I guess. Maybe the boar parasites is able to control blood veils to drain for them. So you drain blood. In the God Eater world, the Devour mechanic is something similar. So you have your God Eater weapons that are basically origami cells. And so they're kind of living weapons, sort of. They have this Devour mechanic, which allows your weapon to basically eat an origami and then devour it. I forget everything that it does, but it allows you to get bullets back, I remember, which I think they're called blood bullets. And you can make your own bullet, basically, which I thought was pretty cool. The bullet making thing was like one of the best things in it, because it was very customizable with what you can make.
種の進化というものを
Except I never made anything good because I couldn't. I was just bad at it. Dude, I just revived you. Oh my god. I'm just not concentrating. It's not even that I can't apply poison to him, it's just I need to live through his attacks. Which means
学べることもあると思います。
I should
振り
change
返ってみましょう。
lit code. Something I can actually deal damage with. And have a bit of mobility.
お待ちください。
I feel like I'm still forgetting something that I should be explaining.
お前たちのくだらない意志もろとも灰にしてくれるわ。
I just healed too.
Yeah. やってくれるだが 避けられるか
I dashed into her one. Okay. Ugh. There's an ability I want, but I forget what I want to put on. I thought about it in the fight, but now I forget what it is. Maybe it's something I can't put on right now. Let's try that. Use our blood guard a bit.
の研究を経て手に入れた力思い知らせてやろう。
Oh, ran out of stamina. Ran out of stamina. Ugh, I'm going for hits when I shouldn't be. Like that.
見せてやろう種の進化というものを。楽しもうかな。食らえ。
Oh, I'm out of stamina. Oh. It's almost dead. Oh, I'm out of stamina. That's bad. Oh, she got it off. Okay, he's poisoned. I just like keep away. And he's dead.
大切なもの
And he turns to stone. So why not? Oh, he's turning to ash, in fact. Where's his relic gone?
赤い霧の状況を見る限り、シルバーは暴走間際の小康状態にあると考えて間違いないだろう。
でもおそらくは時間の問題。暴走を止める方法はないの？分かっているの。確かにあなたならシルバの侵害を受け継ぐことができるかもしれない。でもそれはつまりシルバの意志を継ぐということでもあるの。
世界を維持するためには赤い霧が必要だ。永遠とも言える時間をあの玉座で過ごすことになるだろう。お前にその覚悟があるのか。
Essentially replacing Silva because he's gonna become frenzied.
一人じゃない。私にできることなんて何もないかもしれないけど、それでもきっと一緒に歩いていくことはできる。
その重たそうな荷物、俺にも背負わせてくれよ。
共に戦おう。
初めて見る場所ですね。
I can just open that door. Just cause. I mean, I have the Queen's blood. That's probably why I can open it. What's this? Pure blood. And we get... I can't even read that. Asclepius? I don't know. And this is where we access the DLC. Celestial Ice Prison, Eternal Abyss, and Fiery Oblivion. And we get that blood code. Code owner Valerio. Utilizes Benful HP and stamina to aid partners with support gifts. It wasn't the third DLC like Lightning Prison or something? I didn't see that here. So that's how easy it is to just access DLC. You just pick it up. I haven't done them yet, so it'll be a first time. I did read something about it, that it has new bosses. So that'll be something. Then we gotta run through this entire walkway just to get to the next area. And I am switching back to... It's this. No, it's this. Just so I can try and learn this. So I can master gifts a bit easier. Weren't we already in, like, the sky? In the fortress? We're going up further. Into... somewhere. The Provisional Government outskirts. So we're going to the Provisional Government. Chemical light. There's another item.